Hello guys, I am back with another episode. There is a message that I want to share with you guys, and this message, it was sent to me by one of our admins. The message reads like this. Hello my brother Nashi, please hide my identity. I have been silent, but I think keeping it to myself will cause more harm, as this is like a slow poison that is eating me and destroying my marriage each and every day. The truth of the matter is that I have boils. These boils are all over my private area, and they come one after another from January to December. I have seen each and every doctor, maybe in our province. I have seen most doctors that have been said to be the good doctors in our province, and every specialist that I have gone to, nothing is working. This thing is not going anywhere. The thing that surprises me is that each and every specialist that I have visited, they all give me different answers, as if they studied a different book, because this one will tell me that these are the early signs of diabetes. The other one will tell me that this is a sexually transmitted disease. The other one will tell you of cancer. So all of them, they have left me confused. I am not a superstitious person, but let me say also each and every month on the lower part of my private area, I just wake up and there will be a small wound that will be there, and it's like something would have beaten me throughout the night. This thing, my brother, it happens without fail on each and every same day of the month, and I know that this is the hand of my father's sister. Why do I say so? This is how it all started. My dad died when I was 10 years old, and I loved my dad so much. On that very same day when my father died, my father's family came and they took all of the furniture that was in the house. Then they took me. The only reason why they took me, it was because I was the one that was on my father's funeral policy. So my father's sister then became my guardian legally. So she used the money in whatever way that she saw fit. I moved in with them, and my mother was left with nothing material wise. And my auntie, I still remember, she said that my mom was a prostitute, and the whole family supported that notion of my mom being a prostitute. And my mom, since she was employed, she said that she will continue trying to take care of me. So she didn't fight so much when the life assurance money came out. The rest of that money went straight to my auntie, who was my legal guardian. I don't know how exactly my father had made my auntie to become my legal guardian instead of my mom. Maybe there was something that was deeper that was going on between their relationship. When my mom found out that she was not the legal guardian, but my father had made my auntie to become the legal guardian upon his death, my mom just fell into depression and she failed to recover. I became almost like a maid in my auntie's home. She would use me to do anything in her home. She would wake me up at 4 a.m. to make fire. She abused me in such a painful way. I lived a very painful life as I grew older. Even though there was money that was getting into her bank account, but each and every morning she would make me up so that we can make the fire to make amagwinya. I had no one to tell my problems, and the husband too was always trying to abuse me. Each and every chance when we will be left alone in the house, then he will start to look at me in a very scary way, so much that I would have to sit outside even if my auntie will return back home late in the night. I will say that it is better to sleep outside than to sleep in the same house with her husband. My auntie would leave and go, and the husband would try to take any opportunity so as to try to abuse me. This is how at 20 I then met my boyfriend, and my auntie, when I met my boyfriend, she was not happy at all, because she wanted her daughter to marry that guy, because this guy was from the same street. Ever since the day that I had arrived in the place where they were staying, that guy, I saw that indeed he had interest in me. Then he had went for training. When he came back, that is when he let it known to my auntie that he wanted to get married to me. But my auntie was against that idea. But love is love. That guy declared his love for me. My boyfriend knew all of my struggles, and he prayed always until he managed to pay lobola, and we had a really nice big white wedding. My auntie was not happy, and my mother had to force herself into the wedding, as my auntie didn't even want her to come. My mom brought me a present, and after the wedding, I made the mistake of opening the wedding presents without even praying. She was heard saying that this one, she will not stay in this marriage. She thinks that she has made it in life. The present that my auntie bought for me, it was a lingerie, and she said that I had to wear this when I was on my honeymoon. Me and my husband, we went on our short honeymoon, and when I wore the lingerie that my auntie had bought for me, then my body started to itch, and I could not understand why all of a sudden my body was itching, as if something poisonous had crawled over my body. I have been married for 2 years now, and my husband, he tries by all means to understand all of this. He knows the kind of a battle that I am fighting, and that is when from that day I started to develop some kind of boils on my pee. And I tell you that it has been 2 full years of pain. These boils, they just come and go, and most times there is no rest in between. Till recently, as I was walking in town, I met this other lady. This lady that I met, to my surprise, she spoke with me. And even though she tried to speak with me, but I understood that this one, she was from Zim because of her accent. She stopped me and she said, "The present that you were given by your auntie, go and burn it." I stood there confused. Then she just walked away. Now everything started to make sense. I then called my mother and I told her about that woman that I had met in town and everything that the woman had told me. Now I don't know, my brother, if this is where I lost the plot, because after my mom had told me that we were supposed to burn that lingerie, we took it and we burned it at the back of the house. After we had burned it, my brother, that is when I started to notice that the boils are now even getting bigger, because in the past, those boils, they were so small that even me and my husband, we could perform the act when we were in our bedroom. But after I had followed the instruction of that woman that I met in town, then the boils seems to be getting bigger each and every time. The last month, when those boils came out on my private parts, they were so huge that it was so painful when we tried to have intercourse. This thing is really hurting me. It seems as if my auntie's daughter, whenever she comes to visit us, when she goes away, even though my husband is a prayerful man, but for a few days after my auntie's daughter would have visited us, then we will have a shouting match, me and my husband. We will be shouting at each other. The reason why we will be shouting at each other, I don't even know. So this thing has been happening, and my husband, he was the one who told me that he has noticed this trend, that whenever my auntie's daughter come to visit us, as soon as she leaves our house on that night, we are supposed to fight each other. Now we have tried so much that whenever she comes to visit us, we try by all means not to fight with each other. We even wrote a reminder on a piece of paper that we should not go to bed without saying sorry to each other. My husband really loves me, but I don't know for how long he is going to hold on to our love, because as for the baby, there is no baby that is coming. And like last month, we really struggled when those boils came out of my private parts for us to have intercourse. What is going to happen if one day there will be a big boil that will cover the rest of my private part? Do you think that my husband will keep on hanging on? Please give me advice. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by our dear sister. Please let us try to speak with her in the comment section.